everyone, this is Roxx. We're going to talk about the arrest and indictments against P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Diddy, also known as Love. I got some interesting information to tell you right now. Supposedly he's right now being stored because he couldn't get bail. So he's staying in a prison. It looks like a business building, but I guess they reformatted it and made it into a prison, so it's quite safe and it's hard to escape. Now, I want you to look at a picture of the mugshot of Puff Daddy Diddy. The problem is that the picture of him, it looks like him, but then if you actually pull up right beside it, Puff Daddy or Diddy, it's not the same person. I've checked this out in really detailed analysis. The mugshot of Diddy, if you look at it quickly, it looks like Diddy. The problem is that when you look at a picture of Diddy compared to the mugshot, that's not Diddy. Diddy's not in jail. Diddy was and is a billionaire. People talk about how celebrities can be cloned or a person can be cloned. The context of what clones means is very different than what we think a clone is. A clone would be like a biological specimen that's like grown in a tube and then like fully fleshed out and then trained to talk and walk, and then there's your clone. No, the clone of Diddy looks very, very similar to a man who is Haitian, who's had plastic surgery to make himself look like that. Most likely, he was either threatened or paid, or probably both, to be Diddy. Because from a broad stance, it does look like Diddy, but if you get close to it, particularly side by side with Diddy, they don't look alike at all. So the clone looks familiar as Diddy, but he doesn't look like Diddy. And like I said, that person guaranteed was either paid off or threatened, or for years has been also groomed, because Diddy knows that he was up on a lot of charges. So they groomed a version of a guy that would look like Diddy to the police. Now, this is the thing. The police and law officials and courts can't even attempt to charge Diddy with trying to escape or trying to pay off a person or trying to make sure that what they do is like on point, because the entire United States legal system will be a laughing stock. So this guy who they arrested was put in jail and there because Diddy paid for him to be there, and Diddy left. If they were right now to say, we're sorry, we don't have the right version of Sean Combs, Diddy, Puff Daddy, so now we're gonna let this guy go because that guy's the fake one, but now we gotta get the real Diddy. The fact of the matter is that Diddy the Diddler wasn't arrested, but they can't say that they made a mistake of such monumental proportions. Their entire legal system would collapse and every single person in jail would have a lawsuit. What's it called? It's like a joint lawsuit where many people get together and then they put together a lawsuit saying that they're a clone. Therefore, if they're a clone, it's not their job to make them get free because the fingerprints don't match, eyes don't match, nose don't match, lips don't match, everything is a not match. Because the fact of the matter is that they can't do anything. So they do have a Diddy, and guaranteed there's a lot of people either on the payroll. The payroll is huge, but the threats of death to family members, that's absolutely insane. Guaranteed that is going on. The thing with the Diddler / Diddy is that he had so much footage to blackmail that nobody even knows how far and reaching that is. Because it could have been lawyers and judges at his parties as well. Who knows? Maybe select persons that work at jails. It could be anybody. It could be some parole officer. So the question is, where is the real Diddy? I'm not talking right now trying to support an opinion that I have. I'm literally saying, Google the mugshot of Diddy. Google the mugshot. it kind of looks like Diddy, you know, nose job, fix some eyes, fix some lips, but things like the ears are not the same, the hairlines are not the same, his eyes do not look the same, his entire face does not look the same. What's preposterous as well is the fact that Diddy has tons of body tattoos. Look at his back. It's a giant tattoo. Look at his arms. Tons of tattoos. So why is this not making the news when you have that many tattoos? And police and law officials frequently use and ask a suspect or a person that gets apprehended. They're asked, do you have tattoos? And then let's take pictures of your tattoos. The reason that I don't have any tattoos at all is strictly because if you were to get arrested and they can say, I don't know, he has a big tattoo of a lion and a cross on his chest, you can never change that. And the fact is that even if you try to get rid of your tattoos, there's still scarring tissue. So the fact is, nobody even talks about Diddy's tattoos, because if you don't bring in his tattoos, then it's like, okay, fine, but that sounds suspect, because guaranteed this guy that's in jail, he also does not have these two distinctive moles under each eyelid on his face. No moles, but those moles have been there his entire life. And this clone they have, which is not a clone, it's a dude that looked similar, which had plastic surgery. The fact is that it doesn't even look like, actually, it doesn't look like Diddy. It looks like a different specimen, a different person. I wonder what his voice sounds like too, because there are surgeries that go into your throat and they can actually change the sounds that your throat makes when you talk. I'm not a professional on that, but I do know that there are people in popular music have actually surgically changed their throat, how they sound. Like I said before, Diddy has like a net worth which is proclaimed at roughly $1 billion. There's a giant chance it's even larger than that, because with that kind of money you can make money right away by just investing your money and getting a 5% rate, and then your money will grow by 5% and just like reinvest it. Most local broke people can't do that because it's not possible to have enough money to make that money doing nothing. Plus, he's also a mogul in music, in fashion, in entertainment. He's like really well put together. I really dislike the fact that he has these things called freak-offs, because using that term, that's like sensationalizing just basically having a big orgy at your house or a sex party at your house. But stop saying freak-off. That kind of dumbs down the importance of the charges to make it sound more having like a sexual proclivity, when we all know that Diddy was filming all this stuff to blackmail people. That's what Diddy was doing. He was doing these parties, and of course he liked it, but he did them to blackmail people. So it's uncharacteristic of his sex parties to label them as freak-offs. Freak-offs just makes it sound stupid. This guy was like blackmailing a huge amount of celebrities. And this is the thing too. I would most likely think that like a big chunk of these celebrities weren't even there for sex or anything. They just thought it was going to be a party with Puff Daddy, Diddy, Sean Combs. And then they probably just like left the rooms with sex and then just went and chilled out in a lounge. However, sadly, if that's what happened, you are still guilty based on the fact that you showed up. So you can be blackmailed for just being at an orgy or a corn orgy or a sexual ABUSE party. So yeah, like this whole thing is a lot deeper than what's being said, and that's on purpose too. Also, there's enough proof that Puff Daddy paid $500,000 to a guy named Keefy D, to kill Tupac. The reason I said $500,000 is strictly because this guy, Keefy D, was promised $1 million. But Diddy just only gave him $500,000. He's been talking about this now for like 20 years. Finally, people are listening to what Keefy D has to say because P. Diddy, the diddler, he had Tupac killed. Now, why? A few reasons here. Tupac was getting bigger than Biggie Smalls, bigger than the notorious B.I.G. So what happened was that he didn't like that because he was the guy managing the career of Biggie / Notorious B.I.G. So he did get Tupac killed. So that's just known now. And the reason that's not being put down in the modern media is strictly because there's so much going on with him. They'll get around to the death of Tupac at some point. Next point. Why did Biggie also die? Biggie put out 2 double albums in like 1995 to 1997 to clear up what is owed. Meaning, Biggie had to put out 4 albums with Bad Boy Records. 4 albums. So Biggie literally just like did 4 in 2 years. So now Biggie was gonna do his own label. What it was called, I don't know. But Biggie was, and it's well known, it's documented that Biggie wanted to start his own label and leave Puffy because Diddy was like hard to deal with and he was greedy as hell and Biggie just wanted to do his own thing. Now, why would Puffy, Diddy, Sean Combs murder Biggie? Sure, Biggie was from nothing and he lived with his single mom growing up. The reason why he would kill Biggie is because basically all of the publishing, which is all the money, was kind of put together where Puff Daddy would get the money. He'd get like at least 60% of publishing. He would get even 70% of publishing. And the only person that could fight this in court would be his mother, who was old and she was not schooled and she didn't have legal representation. So Puffy could literally just bully her out, and then Diddy would get basically like all of the publishing money, including right now. Biggie died 1997 to now, so that's like what, like 30 years or whatnot, and Diddy would get all the publishing. So let's say the song is by a shampoo company wanted to use a line from a Biggie song. That's publishing. Or let's say that like a sports team wants to use a clip from a song to make a song for the football league, sure, whatever. Yeah, Puffy would get basically all the publishing from that as well. So there's a lot of nuance here that goes into it that nobody really thinks about it. Nobody's saying Diddy killed Biggie. Of course he did, because if he left Bad Boy, he'd leave a big chunk of his publishing behind, but his future sales. So he got rid of and just got basically Notorious B.I.G. was sacrificed for money. Nobody knows this stuff, but this is the truth. That's why Puffy killed Tupac, because that made Biggie more well known, plus it fueled the fire with, the whole gangsters on the East Coast versus gangsters on the West Coast. I bet you that had something to do with Puffy and publishing. And how would Suge Knight even get to jail? Well, the fast answer is that what happened is the same thing that's going on with P. Diddy right now. If you have a trail of breadcrumbs going to just a huge fire, eventually everything ignites. So Suge is in jail, and there's no faking him. But P. Diddy had a somewhat called clone. It's not a clone. It's a dude that looks similar. He looks Haitian, and he shares a lot of similar characteristics. But if you back up and do a side-by-side picture, you will notice that Puffy doesn't even look like his clone. But it has certain features that resembled him. Yeah, I mean, what else do I really want to say about this? Because I think I kind of covered up a whole lot of stuff. Diddy is not in jail. He is maybe in Belize with Shine. That's a joke, because when Diddy was dating J-Lo, he fired off gunshots at the ceiling. Police came, him and Shine got arrested. Diddy split from the Shine case and represented himself because he was worth a few $1 million. So Diddy pawned off the shooting on Shine, who then spent about 8 years in jail, and then Shine went back to Belize, the country called Belize. And now he is the leader of the official opposition of the Parliament of Belize. So this guy went from being a rapper to being in jail and banned from the US to moving to Belize, which I'm pretty sure do not have an extradition, but also he did spend his own time in jail, so he wasn't escaping. But now he is a legit leader of the Parliament opposition in Belize, so that's really cool. I urge you all to spend some time and Google the pictures of Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, Diddy, his mugshots, because you'll look at it and you'll say, okay, that kind of looks like him, but then look at a picture right beside that of the actual Sean Combs, and you will see easily that doesn't even look anything like Sean Combs. So where is Sean Combs? Nobody knows. And the police can't do anything, and all the legal resources in the world can't fix up a botched investigation, because if you do go down that path, it would make the U.S. judicial system a joke, an absolute joke. So they can't do anything. So they gotta work out with. You will notice that there's an absence of pictures of him in court or anywhere at all. And why is that? Because they know that this is just completely wrong. So unfortunately, they got a Diddy, and he's the one who's gonna go to jail through threat or through money. And real Puff Daddy is most likely in a country with no extradition, because that way he's very safe. And with his money, that guy can live like a king anywhere. So that's the entire breakdown that I have to say about Sean Combs, Diddy, Puff Daddy, Biggie, some Tupac info. And this is gonna be an interesting ride to watch, but you will notice though is that there's like an absolute shortage of any pictures of Diddy since being arrested or in court or anywhere. The guy's just nowhere. And in a case like this, they love saying the term freak off, and they talk freak off and all the details on freak off, which is stupid. Just call it an orgy or a sex party. But they don't have any recent pictures since like not last April, is it? Yeah, the April before that point is that they don't have Diddy the Diddler. He's somewhere else. Look up the mugshot that they got and notice that there's never any new pictures of him. But they love to say he bought 1,000 bottles of baby oil and 1,000 bottles of lube. Yeah, that's not illegal. You're allowed to buy as much sex lube, body lotion, or whatever. People are fixated on this freak off thing, which is that's absolute nonsense. Like, stick to the fact. Nobody's gone to jail for buying baby oil or sex lube. So that's so frustrating to me, because it circumvents the system and makes it sound completely non-consequential. But it just sounds funny, because all of these people who wish they were Diddy are like, oh, freak off, yeah, let's talk about freak off. It's just called an orgy or a sex party. That's it. That's the whole thing. There's nothing else there. But the blackmail part with the sex parties, now that's a real thing. See, I'm not defending Diddy because he is done wrong. Now that's a real thing. So Diddy's up on some huge charges, except for the fact that Diddy's not in jail at all. 1,000%. Look up the mugshot, look at him, and you'll say, that's not the same guy. That dude looks like a Haitian dude with some plastic surgery to look more like Diddy. And he has no moles on his face. You can't remove moles in your face or hide them, particularly with the lighting at a police place, whatever, law enforcement group, whatever. I'm no pro on all that stuff, but I'll tell you that it does really matter. So, P. Diddy is not in jail. He does have a lookalike, and that lookalike looks just enough like Diddy, but you can clearly see he doesn't have all these tattoos. Tattoos don't just go away. Like, that's just, like, nuts. But when you're a billionaire, you can get away with a billion things, because he's richer than the top 1% of the entire U.S. population, let alone the entire population of the world. 0.001% of the richest, most powerful people. That's all I gotta say about that. Anyway, check out the mugshot official. Put it beside a picture of P. Diddy, and you'll see that he does not look like the man.
Please like, comment, and subscribe.
It's crazy, but it's true. Anyway, this is Rexx Roxx. Rexx Roxx out.